Hi guys, fancy seeing you here. So I've just gotten home from work. It's about like 6 p.m. and I was like, let's do some filming, girl. I got my hair trimmed and now it's feeling like super healthy, although, you know, I've lost a lot of the lightness in my ends because they were super split ends for days, and I was like, get rid of that, girlfriend. And here we are. We're gonna do a basic AF makeup routine for you guys and for myself. I've chosen products that you can all buy at Priceline. I'm going the cheapity cheap. This is just a really simple makeup routine that is really great for beginners. And I'll talk you through, you know, how to make some choices about what you actually want to put on your face for, like, you know, the everyday girl who doesn't wear makeup much but wants to, you know, wear a little something something. I've just been at work. I've had no makeup on. My face is super greasy, so let's get started. First of all, very important is cleansing and moisturizing. I like to use micellar water because I'm a bit lazy, but it's honestly best if you use water, and I prefer to use my Clarisonic. This is by Burt's Bees. It's called Micellar Cleansing Water with White Cypress Oil. I don't think it's very good, and I don't like it because it smells like honey, but I got it for PR and I don't like wasting PR, especially when it's just like something like this. It doesn't cause me to break out, so I just do it. Don't forget to bring it down the neck, people. And often I would run to the bathroom after this and just like rinse my face with water because I find this just leaves a residue on my face. For now, I'm just gonna like wipe some of it off with this and just be like, YOLO mate, whatevs. So I think this routine would be good like for like an everyday work makeup, stuff like that. Oh, let's pull back the hair because that is not helping. So the holiday season in Australia has just been a bit crazy. There's just so many parties and stuff on and gatherings and like work functions, and everything at work is trying to, you know, come to a wrap. Next, definitely moisturize, especially if you have dry skin. I'm going to use a Neutrogena Hydro Boost Water Gel, but I prefer to use like MAC Fix Plus if I'm lazy, and I'll just spray MAC Fix Plus all over my face and like rub it in. But we'll go with a bit of this because I do like it. Moisturizing is super important because if you don't have a good base for your makeup, it's just not going to have a good time. And this is going to be our primer today because I'm skipping primer because this is like the lazy makeup routine and ain't nobody got time for primer. So we're going to do the like complexion first because that's like the biggest surface area and what people are going to notice first. Now here's where you need to make a choice. This is like a choose your own adventure game. Make a choice. You need to think about what your like skin concerns are when it comes to the complexion. For me, I have oily skin, so I'm going to need something to keep the oils at bay. I like to use a setting powder, a mattifying powder, that kind of stuff. If you have dry skin, you may not need a powder, and powder may actually make it worse. So just keep that in mind. You need to think about how much coverage you want. Me personally, I don't like wearing foundation on a daily basis because I just find it's too much work. I feel like I have relatively good skin, so I just don't bother. My preference is to wear concealer on my face wherever I need it, and then to just go ham with a bit of a mattifying powder. It's really up to you what you want to do. Some days I do feel like wearing foundation, and I would wear the Rimmel Lasting Finish Breathable. This is from Priceline, so it's affordably priced. Just a good, not too thick and heavy, but reasonably long-lasting foundation. I did get this for free though, so like take that into consideration. I have two concealers here because I'm not quite sure what my shade is. This is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. I have used this in the past. I recently finished up mine, but luckily Maybelline has come out with 4 new shades of this. It used to only have 2, light and medium, but now it has 4. And this is genuinely my favorite concealer from Priceline, or in that drugstore category. I just find that it's really easy to work with, great for beginners. I did find when I was using Age Rewind, I was in the shade medium, and it's just like a little bit too light for me. So I'm super happy they've brought out darker shades. So I'm gonna try golden as well. I'm not sure which one will suit me better. Let's have a look-see. So you can do a bit of like fake contouring and highlighting with these as well. Okay. I feel like this is gonna be a little light for me. Look, it looks a little light. Let's try this new shade in golden. So I would personally use this stuff under the eyes, maybe a little bit for like blemishes, but make sure it's the same shade as your skin, so you might need 2 of them. One like it's a bit lighter to go under your eyes to help brighten, and then one to cover up your blemishes in your face, which you want to blend into your skin, because if it's a lighter shade, it's just going to make your blemishes stand out more. By blemishes, I just mean like pimples and stuff. I feel like this looks like a better match for me, but I am looking in the viewfinder of the camera, so I cannot confirm. So I tend to like use it as a highlighter, kind of, because I like to cover up my under eyes, and then I kind of highlight a bit down there, a bit down there. Now you can totally blend this in with your fingers if you would like. I do not like doing that. I normally like to use a beauty blender or a brush. So I'm going to use a Real Technique sponge. You can get these relatively affordable from Priceline or iHerb. I need a mirror. None of these drugstore palettes have mirrors. You'll have to buy your own. Okay, I'm going to use my phone because that's how millennial I am. Okay, I do like how this concealer has got a bit of a peach tone to it, so it will help correct my under eye circles. Oh, this isn't really blending. Let's just like blend. And look, honestly, if you do it like this, it takes forever. But you kind of get like a bit of a face massage while you're at it. Just make sure to blend really well if you aren't using foundation, because you don't want it to be obvious where your concealer has started and then it's just your skin. But the good thing about this method is that most of your skin is just your skin, so it doesn't look like you're wearing makeup. I mean, it was a bad idea not to bring a mirror. But you know, I'm just taking one for the team. We're keeping it real. Okay, I feel like it looks okay. Can't confirm. We're just gonna roll with it. Next, if you have oily skin like myself, or you just find you get like a bit oily or greasy throughout the day, powder is your friend. My favorite from the drugstore is, oh no, it's cracked because it's been so well used. It is the Rimmel London Stay Matte Powder, and I'd probably recommend the shade Translucent, but if you want a little coverage, you can get it in colors. This was totally fine. I don't know when this happened. Oh, it's broke. Okay, I'm gonna try and use it anyway because #relatable. I've got makeup all over my clothes, great. So I just have a Real Techniques brush. You'll need a brush to use the powder. Soz, not soz. And I really go ham on pretty much the same spots I've put the concealer. But totally skip this step if you have dry skin. Unless, you know, like you really need to experiment and see what works for your skin. Oh, this brush is so tiny. Let's get a bigger brush into this. Where are all my brushes at? I'm just gonna clean one of my brushes. I use this Beauty So Clean conditioning brush cleanser and a paper towel when I'm like lazy. But I use this when I'm doing makeup for like weddings and stuff, because you don't have time to wash your brushes properly when you're doing like 5 people in a row, and I don't carry around 5 people's worth of brushes. I carry about 3. So in between clients, I will just sanitize the brush and clean it using this stuff, but it's not great for your brushes to use it on a regular basis. But here I am. So normally this is a flat pan, not a pan with some ruins of a product. Maybe I can like crush it up a little. Anyway, at least you know this is well loved. And in future, once I've gone through some of my other powders in my collection, I will definitely buy some more of this. It's just so great, and I love to keep it with me when I go to events or work, just to touch up, because it just sucks away that oil. Again, I'm stuck in a circumstance where I don't have a mirror. Do kind of blend it out edge of the face as well, just to make sure everything blends together. You're also quite welcome to use like a translucent setting powder, like a loose powder. I would not recommend the Thin Lizzy one. I wouldn't recommend Nude by Nature. I would definitely recommend the Australis Ready Set Go powder. I love that stuff. I'm just, you know, using up other powders in my collection before I get back to my favorites. Okay, done. Now we're gonna focus on the big picture, right? Because this is about quick, lazy makeup for your girl. We've got the overall complexion. We've covered up some like tiredness looking face. Next is one of the most obvious things, which is your eyebrows. Now look, I'm lazy, as you know, and I haven't had my eyebrows done in a while, but I do try to get them done about every 3 weeks, just so I don't have to work too hard on doing them myself. I'm going to use the L'Oreal Paris Brow Artist Plumper. This is a brow gel, and when you have your brows done regularly, it's relatively easy to just like put a little something in them, and my brows are pretty full, so I like to focus the product in the ends first, just because that's where it's missing the most. It's like the lightest. So this is more of a natural brow look, but I mean, I feel like that's what we're going for with quick makeup. Cool. Can you see the difference? Just subtle, but like, makes a difference to making you look a bit more put together. Cool. I feel like that looks okay. Just don't go too heavy, otherwise it's gonna look a bit weird if you have Sharpie brows and like no other makeup on. Next is the eyes. I always use eyeshadow primer, and I've always used the Urban Decay primer potion, but you know, for this video, let's just put a little dab of concealer on. The most important thing when you're using any kind of primer is to set it. Otherwise it's gonna be so hard to blend your eyeshadows out because they're just gonna stick to it like glue. It's like if you were like completely drenched from swimming and went and rolled around in the dirt, it would just stick and it wouldn't like blend nicely. So I like to set it with my face powder just so my eyelids match the rest of my face. I'm gonna use this Real Techniques brush. Just, you know, get in there. Now I know like eyeshadow probs isn't your priority. So like, again, make a choice. You might want to focus on, you know, putting lots of effort into your lipstick application or eyeliner or anything. This is my favorite eyeshadow brush. It's from Models Prefer. It's double-ended. There's a blender on this end and more like a patting brush on that end. I'm just going to clean this quickly as well. Fun fact, I don't use Priceline eyeshadow palettes or like drugstore eyeshadow palettes ever because I love eyeshadow palettes, and I find the quality at the drugstore or at Priceline is just not there. But if you're like an everyday person, it's going to be fine. I have some tips for you. First of all, I'd recommend using your face powders, especially the bronzer. Now, if you find a bronzer that works well for your skin tone, it's going to work well in your crease of your eyeshadow, which is the most common place I like to apply eyeshadow. In drugstore palettes, I often find it hard to find a crease shade that matches my skin tone because often they're too light or they don't blend well, and it's just a bad time. I do have some here to try out because I figured I should. Let's try this NYX one first. This is the NYX Lingerie. Don't know why it's called that. It's a matte eyeshadow palette. I know lots of people who aren't super into makeup and matte eyeshadow palettes really appeal to them. Look, I haven't used it at all. Great job, Mel. You want to go for browns. They're your safe bet. Keep away from the blue. Keep away from anything that's too cray-cray. Stick with stuff that looks, you know, neutral and similar to your skin tone. I feel like I should zoom in and show you what I'm doing. Hi! So, first of all, you're going to want to just put the crease shade on the outer corner, which is like here. And it's going to make your eyes look bigger. Remember, less is more. That is my tip of the day. Hopefully you can see. I just pat first, pat to deposit color, and then blend out this motion to blend it. Just pat it where you want most of the color to sit. Beautiful. Okay, now we're going to go back into the face powder. Now this may seem like a lot, but trust me, it's worth it. Get the face powder, get your blending brush, and just work it in there. Now this is going to make blending things out a lot easier, especially if you put on a little tiny bit too much like I have. Got my phone. Great. You just want to blend and just kind of like circular, working it. Make sure you push it in the direction that you want it to go, if that makes sense. And this step can take a little while, especially if you're working with eyeshadows that are not easy to work with. Look, it's not looking great. Let's go in with the bronzer, because bronzer honestly just blends so well. This is from Rimmel London. It's like a trio from the Kate collection. We're gonna go in with some bronzer and just blend that in. See, this bronzer is so great. Just really evens things out. Now again, eyeshadow is one of those things where it really depends on your eye shape and what your personal preference is. So feel free to get a little creative. Not too creative, especially if you're going to work. Okay, I'm pretty happy with how that looks. Something to remember with eyeshadow is that people are always going to look at you from far away. So no one's going to be like looking at your eyeshadow like that. They're going to see it from a distance. So just think about that when you're applying it. I'm not going back into that NYX palette because that was very hard to blend. I do have an Essence palette here. Look, we are going for the lazy girl makeup, so no more palettes. That's too hard. Just to put like a bit of pop and shimmer on my eye, I'm going to go in with the highlighter from this face palette. I'm just going to put it on the eyelid itself, like where it covers the eyeball. And just blend it out. Simple. Look, I know this isn't the most creative, amazing, beautiful eyeshadow look, but if you're just getting into makeup, this is quick, this is easy. Cool, we got a little shimmer shimmer. Next, for me, I love to use eyeliner because I find it helps define the eyes. I forgot to mention before, if you want a brow product from Priceline, I like the Maybelline Brow Precise. The key is just to find the right shade for you and to make sure it's not too warm toned, because that's going to be your downfall. So eyeliner, remember less is more. Remember to lift your eyebrows so that the skin is stretched out so you can get as close to the lash line as possible. And if all else fails and it's like too big, just get like a stiffer eyeshadow brush like this one. This is a lip brush from Australis, that would work. And just blend out the eyeliner. So instead of having like a straight line, you've just got like a smoky blendy line thing. Okay, I don't know how I'm going to do this without a mirror and with only one hand. Normally I use the other hand to kind of help guide me. So I start from the outside because that's where I want it to be the thickest. Like according to my eye shape, that's where it's the most flattering for me. And I just normally bring it into like the center. And thin it out as you get to the inner lid. And ain't nobody got time for wings, so we're skipping wings. I'm just gonna finish at the end of my eye. Cool, I'm happy with that, how that looks. Remember, people won't see it up close, so like don't freak out. But yeah, don't get too excited either. Less is more, otherwise you will be a panda. That's mostly the eyes done. Lastly is mascara, which I feel like is a must personally. But again, make your choice, choose what your musts are and what your not musts are. Before you curl your eyelashes, if you need to curl your eyelashes like I do, make sure your eyeliner dries. So we're going to give that a moment and go in with some face products. For this, you will need a brush again. I'm using my face powder brush. Let's start with bronzer. Remember, you can always just go to town on bronzer as long as it's not too orange. So I really like to bring it down my neck because my neck is a bit lighter than my face. Bit of pretend contouring. Remember to give it a good old blend. And honestly, like, this kind of stuff will fade throughout the day. So if you stuff it up, by the end of the day, it's gonna be gone. And it's makeup, you can wash it off. I also like to bronze around my forehead for like a bit of pretend contouring. Bit around the jawline, but make sure you blend it down. I just find that bronzing around the face just gives such life to the face and definition, especially after you've used foundation or concealer. Cool, I can't really see what it looks like because I'm looking at the viewfinder yet again. I'm pretty happy with that, I think. We're going with a little blush. If you're someone who has redness and you don't like to use blush, don't use blush. I quite happily live my life without blush. But we'll just put a little something on. It goes above the bronzer but below where you would put highlighter. Sometimes blush just tends to come out patchy on me. I don't know why. It just does. Lastly, a bit of highlighter using this smaller brush. Get into the highlighter and just do the cheekbone. Do the cheekbone. And I know it looks a little not so blended. So go back in with your brush you had earlier. Just give it a quick blend. I also do like to bring it up a little. Kind of like that. Just a little bit, Cool. We only have like 2 more steps to go, guys. I know this is like the lazy makeup routine, but it can't just be like 2 steps because I'm being real. This is like what I would do. Okay, next I'm just gonna curl my eyelashes which is going to be a hard time because I don't have a mirror again, but let's do it. So my eyeliner should be dry, so I shouldn't take it off when I do this. Honestly, if I could afford it, I would just get my eyelashes curled, like, what's it called? Lash lift? I'll just get a lash lift because I have Asian lashes and they do not like to stay up. A little bit of a curl. I'm using a Maybelline Colossal Big Shot. This is actually quite nice for providing a bit of length, but it's not waterproof, so it ain't holding any curls, which sucks. But I love Maybelline mascaras. I like Max Factor mascaras too. I would never buy like high-end mascara because I find you can just get them from Priceline. And you're meant to throw them out every like 3 months anyway, so why waste your money? Okay, mascara on that eye, which you can barely see because my lashes don't curl very well. And I'll quickly do the other eye. Most of the time when I curl my clients' eyelashes, they get so scared. And that's why I love it when they wear false eyelashes, because it means I don't have to worry about curling their lashes, usually. And I get it, like, it's totes terrifying. Cool. Lastly, I love to use a bit of lipstick. If you don't like wearing lipstick, just put a bit of lip balm on. Bob's your uncle. A couple of my favorites are the Essence lipsticks and the Rimmel lipsticks. They're also really affordable. If you want to go like a little bit more expensive, the Revlon HD ones are really nice. This is the Essence 02 Matte Matte Matte. Surprise, surprise, it's a matte lipstick. This one's from Rimmel Kate Moss. It's more of like a nude colour. I like nude because it requires very little maintenance, as in when it wears off, you just kind of see your natural lip colour underneath, so you're gonna have a good time. Actually, I'm just gonna add a bit of this Kate Moss one. This is in the shade 55 My Nude. So that is it. You're done. Let your hair down. So this is just something that can help you maybe look a little bit more professional, especially if you're like me and you look a bit young. Sometimes it helps in the workforce to put a bit of makeup on to make you look a little older, a little bit more put together, like you know what's happening. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. Throughout the day to touch up, I would take a small brush, your powder if you have oily skin, or your concealer, and I would take your lipstick to touch up with and just put it in a little makeup bag like this, or throw it in your purse, and you should be good. I really hope this tutorial has helped you because that is my goal. Regardless, I hope you found it entertaining. I'll leave the total price of this full face of makeup. I know it looks expensive, but you kind of gather these products one at a time and, you know, work out how to use them. But at least, hopefully this video has helped you decide what to buy, because I know the Drugstore, Priceline, Chemist Warehouse, the makeup sections can be so overwhelming, and you know, you can't spend all your money trying it all. You'd lose all your money because it is expensive, and if you buy a product that's not useful, it doesn't work for you, it's really hard to return makeup in Australia. It's not like America where you can just be like, yeah, nah mate, and return it. They ain't about that here. Anyway, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!